Holy calamity, scream insanity. All you ever gonna be's another great fan of me.
What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, we talk about a bunch of random things that happened this week in society, including the Joker trailer. We pay homage to Nipsey Hussle. And on this week's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast.
This is Manny Mackins, and you're listening to the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, the best podcast on earth. I said it.
This is a journey. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 126 of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. I'm Jared.
What's good, people? I'm Jay, and my other kids, my only kids in the background, being guest host as well.
Your other kids?
Yeah, my other kids. You know, two of the three. The third one is a dog, because everybody with pets knows it's like another child. So yeah.
Man, Jay, how was your week, man? How was working life?
Working life. No, it was good, but it was weird because this week I was asked to do something at sort of asked to do something at work that made me feel like I was gonna be shucking and jiving. Cause it was weird because, you know, we got a lot of, like a total of maybe 8 or 9 people in my department. I'm the only black guy. I'm the only black guy there in my department. So, you know, we got one of my coworkers. She's pretty young. She's like in her 20s and stuff like that. And she was talking to this older lady who's in her 50s. I'm gonna say, yeah, she's probably in her 50s, and talking about all these dances and stuff like the whip and nay and the wow. And I'm like, what the hell? And then she's like, hey, Jay knows how to do all that stuff.
Oh,
it's like, hey, come over here and show.
She's not black either, right?
No, I'm the only one of color in the department. Everybody looks like an envelope. So, yeah.
Everybody looks like an envelope.
So,
man,
yeah.
I love it.
So I'm just like, no, I ain't doing that. And the more I like, and they just like, come on, you gotta do it, you gotta show it, come do it with me. I'm like, nah, I ain't with this, you know. And the more I sat, it kind of like festered, and I like got kind of, I don't know, I just started thinking about it. It's like, why do I have to be the one to show these people like all the latest black dances? Because I'm black, you know.
That's why. That's it. Why?
You know.
That's why.
So I'm
that's
like,
funny.
no, I just, it just kind of, it upset me for like maybe an hour or so, and I just like, man, it's stupid. So yeah, that was like the low point of the week, you know. So yeah, it is. I ain't gonna say it is what it is, but hey, it happened.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So it's wild.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, okay, yeah, that's funny.
No shucking and jiving here.
Yeah, I've sort of been in that situation before, but not really as well. Not everybody I work with looks like an envelope, like you would say. but no, there's a lot of people who are, there's a few people of color there, and then also, you know, there's some people who are just cultured, I guess you would call it there. But yeah, I've been in a situation where, you know, we had like a dance party or something like that at work, just like a impromptu dance party, and they're like, Jared, come on, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. But there's a couple times where I led the dance party too, so
yeah.
But
it's weird.
Yeah.
Then she got nerves to say, you know how to do the Soldier Boy? I'm like, no.
You like from what, 15 years ago? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
watch YouTube. You can know how to do it too.
Yeah, and then she got the nerve to send me like a list of. She's like, "Do you know any of these dances?" It's like a list of maybe like 20 songs, 20 hip hop songs that I guess had dances associated with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, maybe, but half of these songs don't even have a specific dance to it. So it's like, oh, you got to show us. I'm like, no, I ain't showing nobody nothing. You know,
you should have told them they all look like the MC Hammer dance. Like, that's what you should have told them.
Yeah.
You should have got that.
Yeah, all look like the MC Hammer dance.
All the Running Man.
I mean,
the typewriter.
She's cool and all, but you know, she's a real cool person. But yeah, that just kind of got on my nerves. And I don't much let things bother me. You know, at work, I keep my cool. I go to work, I put my headphones in, and I listen to music all day, or listen to YouTube and just do my work. Other than that, I don't really mess with nobody like that. I mean, all the people I did mess with in the past, they all got fired or, you know, got let go for some reason or another, or just quit. But you know, nowadays I'm just like solo dolo up in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Understand. Wow. Well, yeah, from that situation, it sounds pretty crazy, but, you know, I know that's wild, man. Sometimes sometimes, sadly, you have to deal with that kind of foolishness. At least you're able to get away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I mean, I'm the cultured one, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yep. That's what it is, man.
It's so funny, man. Oh, man.
You know,
I could go on about office politics all day long, but...
Yeah. I thought you were going to say they tried to have you do another digital mock-up of the wall that Donald Trump wants to build. So.
Nah, B. They ain't asked me about that since I told them no. And then they gave me the alternative of either doing it or getting fired, and I said... I need my job. Okay, I'll do it. But they never had me do it, so I was like, okay, I ain't even gonna bring it up.
Well, I mean, from what it sounds like they, you know, nobody got that job, if you will, to go ahead and put up the wall. So probably didn't matter anyway in the end now, thankfully. So, yeah, man, well, that's good. Yeah, well, work for me was just crazy this week. I got a new coworker who I don't understand I don't understand the position that he got, because everything I'd been told that he would be sort of like, you know, coworker, sort of on the same level, and basically take over this whole like account sales channel that I had. I did, you know, I did a certain sales channel that our company that wants to make a huge push, you know, initiative. To like making a big important sales channel for us, and then I had all the business development. So I basically sold to every company that wants our products that we sell, but doesn't want to resell them in a traditional way, or doesn't want to use them in a traditional way. Like I sold to the military, the government. I sold to companies who do monthly subscription boxes. I sell to companies who, you know, give away prizes to their employees or gifts, or I work with emergency management companies. So there was like this whole other side that I had been doing, and then they added in this other huge channel, and then, oh, by the way, it became one of our focuses for 2019, and I was like, I just don't have enough. I don't have enough time in life on a weekly basis to be able to manage both. So they hired this guy, and he was supposed to basically be taking over it and, you know, managing it sort of like, you know, on the same level, and not to replace my old boss. It was just sort of like a guy at the same level. So then at some point in time this week, he like brought me aside. He was like, hey man, I know you're introducing me as such and such as this, but I'm really here to do this. And it was like different. I was like, oh, so what the heck? So I don't know, man. I don't know, but it was sort of a weird week just because of that. And now I'm trying to figure out what actually is going on with that, but still, you know, doing the work and still have all the connections that I have with those customers. So I'm going to just keep that up until I know otherwise. And then, and sort of trying to help train a new person as well and get them up to speed is always difficult. So that's work life. You know, in home life, you know, we had a death in the family this week, you know, so, you know, we just sort of had some stuff. Yeah, I think you sort of had some stuff revolving around that. So it sort of made the week sort of funky and threw it off a little bit. But you know, I think it was sort of a thing that everybody had sort of knew was coming. It's just sort of like when, you know,
Right.
it was my wife's grandma. She passed and she was like 90-something years old. So we knew it was coming. We just sort of wanted to know when. So
She was it like a peaceful type?
Yeah,
passing?
It was like old age. It was, you know, like complications from just a bunch of stuff that it compiled. And, and you know, yeah, but she was an older one. But yeah, it was a peaceful pass. We actually saw her the day that she passed, but you know, she was in a state where she wasn't really communicating. So yeah, it was a sad time, obviously, but then also, I think it was and unfortunately, every time somebody passes, you know, you see all these people you hadn't seen in a long time, or you know, see some people that you do see, you know, often, but maybe not often enough, so you get a chance to converse with them and sort of relive memories and celebrate the life and time that you had with the person. So yeah, so it was you know, sort of a bittersweet situation, but also sad, obviously, because this lady is you know, sort of like one of the, or like the only example that my wife had of a I guess, you know, her grandfather and grandmother, the only example my wife really had of you know, a committed couple in marriage,
Right.
you know, in her life as she grew up. So yeah, so it's a sad thing. She was a really nice lady. You know, she apparently she loved me and also you know, the kids, and you know, was always happy to chat with me anytime I saw her. So
That's good.
it was sad. So yeah, man, but that was a sad thing. And then, you know, obviously we have you know, we had other stuff that happened in the world. You know, the passing of Nipsey Hussle. Man, it's just sad, you know, the way it all went down, and you know, seeing the video. Obviously, that video went viral pretty quickly of the incident as it occurred, the security footage, and man, it's just sad. It was sad to me that, you know, that it had to come to this again for another, you know, positive person in society. I know that he had some other stuff that he did in the past, or maybe some connections that he had, you know, affiliations that he had, but it seemed like he was trying to be right and do the right thing. And, you know, sadly, in my mind, initially, I was just thinking, you know, sort of the streets caught back up to him. But, you know, it was really getting deeper in the situation. You know, you find out that there's a little bit more to it. And the relationship that he had with her, he knew the person, you know, that did it to him. So it was just sad to see that had to happen to another, you know, young black man, you know, in his community, trying to do the right thing, trying to help people. So sad, man.
Yep. Sadly, it happens all the time.
All the time.
You know, and you know, every time something like this happens, there's an interview that Lil Boosie did with Vlad TV, that he said, you know, you can't, you know, you blow up to a certain degree, you can't even go back to your own hometown, because there's always going to be somebody hating, always going to be somebody jealous of you, and ultimately, you know, most rappers get killed in their hometown, you know.
That's crazy.
So that always comes up when something like this happens, and it's sad, man. That's. I'm not saying that I'll blow up, and I don't want to try to compare my situation to his, but that's a reason why I don't even go back home, because I know jealousy just it's a sickness.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's out there, man. You know, and I could see it with a lot of my other friends. You know, a lot of them don't even bother going back home. You know, they made it to a certain place. If they do go back home, they go just to their parents' house. That's maybe see a couple relatives, and that's it. Nobody else.
Yeah. That's wild, man. That's what's sad, you know, because there's so many people who love home and love where they grew up.
Yeah.
You know, they had some great friends, you know, or whatever growing up, and some of those people still live around there. Some people don't. But yeah, but you don't even want to go home just because you know that people talk and people hate and people. It's ridiculous, man. Like it's. I mean, it's one of the things that. Excuse me, I've said this before. It's sort of like things that I, you know, sort of try to teach my kids or relay to my kids as they grow up and they learn about, interacting with other human beings. It's like, man, all that is for nothing. Like it's just words that are going to come out of your mouth and they'll disappear. And, but the feelings and the emotions that happen because of it, can linger, can stay, and it causes people to feel a certain kind of way about you or the situation. And it's just sort of pointless because really in the end, it doesn't matter one way or the other if this other person has this or if you have that. You had the opportunity to get it or they had the opportunity to do that, like at some point in time in their life, and they still do. And they can achieve that if they really find a way to push forward, or maybe they can't and they're just mad about it, but it's not going to hurt one way or the other. You should just, be happy for somebody. But I know everybody ain't about that. So
nope, not at all. Yeah. So R.I.P. Nipsey. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And I know we have voicemail that talks about this, so we'll listen to that in a little bit.
Okay.
And we actually are going to sort of get in depth with this on our next episode. We'll have Sir John Lee back, because that's where he grew up out there, in Compton. And he'll be able to sort of speak to it from the level of man, from the ground level, from right there, within the city. He's already sort of told us that it's really weird and it's sort of strange, in LA right now in the past week and change, since this has occurred, or almost, I guess it's almost a week in the next few hours as we record. It'll be a week since it's happened. So yeah, he says it's already been weird in LA, and he'll have really good insight from somebody who was inspired by Nipsey, and his music as well as his business moves. So we can't wait to talk to him. So y'all hear that on the next episode. But since I was talking about voicemails, Jay, why don't you go ahead and tell the people where they could leave one, and we'll listen to this first voicemail.
All right, people, 385-3BLAKPC, 385-325-2572. Give us a call, folks.
All right, give us a call. All right, so we do have one voicemail, which I'm going to go ahead and throw up there. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hey y'all, this is Memphis Diva 99 at yahoo.com, aka Kayla. What's going on? Happy Monday. This is your Memphis correspondent. And I really don't have too much to talk about, but I was just kind of thrown off on Nipsey Hussle's death, man. Let's talk about it. He kind of knew that they were going to kill him because he made a post. If I die before this documentary comes out, ride hard for me. So he was working on this documentary about this guy that died in 2018 who had supposed to have knowledge about carrying AIDS and some other diseases and sicknesses and illnesses. So, I mean, he was a cool dude. He put a lot back from where he came from, and I think he has a baby by the actress Lauren London, and I just thought it was sad, man. Sad, 33 years of age. Just sad. But I'm going to talk to y'all later, and I'll tell you about the neighbors.
Uh-oh.
Okay, yeah, bye-bye.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. There's like, I guess you call it conspiracy talk about that. I know Dr. Sebi is who they're talking about. Dr. CB, Dr. Sebi, however you figure you want to pronounce it. But he had a case back in I can't remember if it was 70s, late 70s, early 80s maybe, where he claimed to have found the cure for AIDS, and he's already treated like multiple people. And he actually beat the case. He beat the case because he actually they asked him to bring one or two witnesses, or one or two people he's treated. He ended up bringing like close to 70 or something like that. He brought like a lot more than what they requested. So his case he beat the case. It got thrown out. Left Eye, Lisa Left Eye Lopez. She was actually at his compound, and I guess when she died, like in that car accident. Mm-hmm. So she was getting some help from him as well, and I listened to a lot of his talks and stuff like that in the past. So he seemed like a very knowledgeable person. Always talked about the food and stuff that you put in your body is ultimately like the cause of a lot of these things, and our body can actually kill off and fight all these things if we have the right I guess minerals and things in our body. All that stuff kind of counteracts and kills all sorts of things. So he says he's treated everything from AIDS to cancer, a lot of these big illnesses that pharmaceutical companies charge you hundreds of thousands of dollars for, and he was killed, last year or a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact date, but so he was like a natural holistic type doctor, and for the past few years there's been like kind of conspiracy of like pharmaceutical companies like kind of taking out these holistic doctors, because I have a friend on Facebook.
Is that right?
Yeah, I have a friend on Facebook. He's always posting up articles that you never read, because not everybody's heard about Dr. Sebi or anything he's done, but my friend would always post up like these articles about these natural holistic doctors always getting like murdered or mysteriously dying for some odd reason, and things just don't add up. So there's that whole conspiracy talk about that. And then of course with Nipsey, he's making an actual documentary, or I guess he started. I don't know how far along he got, but he started doing that. So he was going to bring Dr. Sebi's work to light. And of course this happened. I don't think the two are related in any way, but
you don't think so?
No, I don't think the two are related. But still, it's still one of those things to think about. But Nick Cannon has offered to pick up the baton where Nipsey kind of left off, and wants to finish that documentary. So I'm curious to see it. I want to see it whenever it's done.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's wild, and it's sad that it comes to this, man. I know that I know people who work for pharmaceutical companies, like big pharmaceutical companies, and also who work for medical device companies and stuff like that. And it's sad that these if it's true, if it's true, obviously it's sad that these companies would go to those lengths just to quiet people, for money or whatever. It's sort of sad, man. And we know that in society there's a huge dependency on prescribed medicine.
Right, exactly.
Whether it be from big pharmaceutical companies, generic versions of the same medicine, over the counter, whatever it is, there's a heavy dependency on it, and there's a lot of companies that have their hands in the pot on all different sides, on all different sides of the aisle, trying to, put money into that, pump money into it, advertise, promote, get doctors on board, get, hospitals on board. And then also alternatively, there's a lot of people obviously who are trying to shed light on that and trying to, give alternative means of medication, like with the medicinal marijuana and CBD oil and so many other, holistic and natural ways. So it's really sad, and obviously, we, like you said, we can't really tell if this is a cause of that or a cause of Nipsey's, murder, but man, it's sad if it is.
Right.
It's sad if it is. And either way, I mean, in this day and age, in the age of, over information, in the age of heightened technology,
yes,
and in the age that we can finally, it seems like we can finally start either curing or treating some of these things that have been ailments and no way to be treated in the past. It's sad that people don't want to that not everybody is out there, for the reason that they say they're out there, because if you're a pharmaceutical company, obviously, you're trying to help the people feel better or comforted or whatever, or get healed from whatever sickness the ailment they're in.
At least
but a lot of times
it's
supposed to be right, but a lot of times that changes up. So it's sad that whatever your initial focus and drive was to create whatever product that's supposed to help people is since changed to making money moves and trying to build as much cash as you can in your back pocket, off the backs of people, and on the lives of people that had to suffer through this. So yeah, man, it's sad. My dad had to take medicine, certain medications that he had to have on a daily basis, and we never approached any kind of like, I think there may have been a couple of different things that they thought about like this, but we didn't really necessarily approach it with the holistic or all natural alternative, because in a lot of cases it wasn't even available for certain parts of those medicines. But there's still some medicines that he took for 10, 20 or more years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if it wasn't the one, it had to shift to like another version of the same style of medicine. And if I don't know, it's just sad.
Yeah,
it's just a sad situation.
I totally understand that, because my dad is on. I can't tell you how many different medications he does.
Yeah,
insulin shots. He does stuff for his anxiety and PTSD. He does stuff for like sleeping. He does stuff for his blood pressure. He does stuff for this and this and this. And the crazy thing is, he's getting these medicines prescribed from 2 different doctors.
Yeah.
And the medicines are both jacking with him and screwing up his stomach and whatnot. So he's always in the hospital for something or another. But the doctors can't even communicate with each other, even though that's been the request of my mother to see what can they do to not like have this particular medicine like screw with this other medicine. So it just doesn't seem like they're in it to help, but more so in it to get a check and just writing out prescriptions for this, that, and the third. But I'd more or less want them to go like a natural way. I mean, he has trouble sleeping. Marijuana has been pretty much been proven to help with as a sleep aid.
Yeah,
I mean, my dad smokes nicotine, smokes cigarettes all day. I don't see what
you should go that direction, huh?
Yeah, I'd much rather him smoke weed than smoke nicotine and cigarettes, freaking cool cigarettes at that. Man. He's been smoking that since I was a little boy. Forever, man. Yeah. Forever. Yeah. I used to remember going to lighting his cigarettes up and bringing it to him while he slept and smoked in bed. But, apparently all these 30 plus years, his lungs are still great, according to his doctors. So
that's wild, man.
Thank goodness for that. But still, this has to be something that he could, do. And it's a shame. There's multiple people in America, lots of people in America having the same type of issues. With pharmaceutical companies that could probably get their illnesses or whatever's bothering them, could get that resolved just going like a natural, holistic approach to whatever that's messing with them. So I don't know, man. It's crazy world.
Yeah, it is very crazy, and I totally agree, man. As far as instead of nicotine, go with the weed. You know what I'm saying? It's obviously been proven helpful, and if not that, then it's one of the oils or something else that is associated with it that would help you. They help you with any kind of ailment. While it is a drug per se, it is also a natural, element. It wasn't created. It's not like cocaine that is doctored up. It's something that does grow naturally, and it's just sort of like the usage of it, and depending on how it's used is sort of what leads to addictions. So yeah, man. So I don't know, man. It's a sad thing overall. yeah, thankfully, your pops has good lungs still. That's when you said he still has good lungs, I was just like, wow, it's been years, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody's body is different too. I know. So
true.
Thankfully,
Very true
for him. So wow, yeah. Well, thank you, Kayla, for that voicemail. Definitely appreciated. You didn't send back another voicemail to talk about your crazy neighbor, so I'm interested whenever you have an opportunity to drop that news back on us. But yeah, man, we're gonna do a couple things. So first of all, I wanted to give a quick couple shout outs real quick to the Starting Five podcast, Mayor Dan, and also JP, that run that show up in the Northeast. A shout out to y'all. I left a message on their show as a sports message because, you know, they do a lot of sports talk and also hip hop stuff as well as other things. I left a message on their show about my Giants and how terrible they've been in this offseason, and neither of them are Giants fans. You know, I think there's a Philly fan, and then who is the other? I lost it now because I'm on the spot. But either way, yeah, they're yeah, it's funny because they sort of agreed to the fact that the Giants, you know, giving away their lineup. So yeah, shout out to them. You know, and they want to come on the show. They want us on their show, work with them at some point. So we're going to make it happen. We just have to line up these days for sure in the next few weeks, next couple weeks. Also, John Effect, you know, thanks for staying in touch as well. We're going to make that happen soon. Yeah, man. And so many others. Random Ramblings with Rob, Just in Time, Whatever Man Podcast. Man, there's so many that we can continually shout out. But, yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to them. Just Say Words, you know, Jay, who's running Just Say Words and multiple other podcasts, sort of like a network, the Pod Dealers. So yeah, man, there's so many out there. But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them. And then before we get to the Joker trailer, because I think this sort of lines up with it, depending on which version of the Joker you're talking about, is face tats. Jay. Face tats. So your boy, you know, as some people would say, Lil Wayne's daddy, Birdman, wants to get his face tats removed. He says, I just feel like I'm being older. I'd like to get it off because it's not good. You know, it's not good for business. And it stereotypes you, and it brands you as a certain type of person, etc., etc. Man. Word. Yeah, right. Word. So, man, Birdman. What do you think about Birdman wanting to get his face tats off? I could speak to how hard that's going to be as information from my wife. But yeah, what do you think about that, man? Think it's too late?
Too late. I mean, I know I responded to this when I first heard it earlier this week. I forgot who posted it up on Twitter, but you know, he's pretty stupid for even getting all that stuff done anyway. It's crazy because I remember before they got the Universal deal, he did have a face tat. I think he had like a little cross on his head or something like that, on his forehead or something. It was a very small one. So he had already been doing like a face tat, one face tat. Yeah.
Was that before all the stars on his head too?
Yeah. This was before the Universal deal, back, like way back, early 90s and stuff. Early 90s. Yeah. You know, he had like that. And that was like kind of like a common thing because a lot of people had like little crosses on them back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, from Soulja Slim to, you know, a lot of other people. So, yeah. But nowadays, it's I mean, it's just a little too late. And I know that type of thing, they got to go for multiple runs to even try and get that ink from under them. And it hurts a lot more from what I hear.
Yeah. So that's true. Yeah. I mean, my wife, you know, having gone through esthetician school and having had to do this, you know, basically do practice on this and work on this in order to pass off and get her certification. Yeah, man, they basically burn your skin. They burn layers of your skin on multiple visits to, you know, the doctor the medical esthetician to remove, tattoos. So imagine, if you haven't seen a picture of Birdman in a while, yeah, man, he is tatted up everywhere, almost except for like the crown of his forehead, like the front crown of his forehead, maybe the only part of his face, and then sort of looks like under his chin a little bit, and parts of the back of his head also maybe not be tatted. But yeah, man, he's trying to get a bunch of these removed, and it will be a painful experience. We'll just say that. When he gets that first one, when they start on that first one, he'll know what he's in for, because not only, this will be almost his whole head that's basically getting sizzled off. And like, it's the smell of burnt meat, not like when you cook a steak, not like when you cook chicken, when it burns, but this is like human flesh, and it's worse. And yeah, man, multiple runs at that, getting those removed is going to take a long time. Like I would say, cause you have it, you have the first procedure one day, and then you got to let your skin sort of heal and let all that skin sort of flake off so you can have the next procedure. So, that takes time. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it took like 9 months to a year if he was trying to get all the face tats, all the head tats off of his head. It would take that long probably. So
I'd say just keep your stuff, man, because you made it this far with it. Unless he's trying to negotiate some really big deal that he completely got denied for because of his feature, because of his look. But the dude has money, So this only leads me to think it was some type of business deal that kind of went wrong, and somebody like prejudged him on based on looks. That's the only reason why I'd say he's trying to do this. Other than that, dude's like late 40s, maybe. So I say keep your tats if you're gonna try to do it. Maybe start with one little one, or get rid of the obvious. Well, yeah, his whole face is obvious.
Yeah, it's all obvious.
Keep the 5-star on top of his head. I'd say keep that one, because the head tattoo period. He has 3 stars on top of his head.
He has 3 stars on his head.
Well, I meant like the 5. I meant the 5-pointed star. That's what I meant. He has a big 5-point star like on top of his head. Like,
I was gonna say he has one on. Okay, he has that one, and then he has one on each side of his head as well. So he has 3 large stars on his head, and then some smaller ones. I know what you mean. But yeah, man, he says he wants to remove his face tattoos because he feels like he's getting older, and it's not necessarily good for business. I just think at this point in my life, I don't need that. That stereotypes you. It takes you away from the business and certain things. So yeah, so it probably did have to do with some kind of business deal, or does have to do with some kind of business deal. And maybe he is encountering people who have no clue who he is.
Right.
Because at a certain level, everybody knew who he was, and everybody knew who he is, knows who he is, depending on what circles you run with. But then again, there's so many circles, like it sounds like the envelopes that you work with, that probably wouldn't have a clue who Birdman was, if they walked into a business, they walked into a conference room to meet him and talk about some kind of business deal. So, So crazy, man. Crazy. Keep what you have, own it. If people ask you about it, obviously be honest with them, and just say, hey, these tats don't define me now. Necessarily, they don't define my business mind. Obviously, I grew, record label, production studios to, and multiple artists to a certain level. I have good business acumen, but this also, speaks to stuff that I did in my past. Maybe stuff I'm still doing. I don't know. But hey, man, whatever, dog. So yeah, people out there, if you get face tats, either make sure you can cover them up if you want to one day, or consider this a cautionary tale to not get your skin burnt off. Just to get them removed.
Take note, Lil Xan.
Take note, Lil Xan and little everybody else. So let's see here. And as you get older, these tattoos look worse and worse. Skin starts to sag. What was once a dolphin now looks like a whale. you know, it's just bad.
A majestic dolphin turns into a squid.
Exactly. So hey, let's talk about this Joker trailer. So apparently everybody's been talking about it. So I mean, I'll let you lead this because you sent it over to me and I saw it for the first time.
All right. Well, new Joker. Supposed teaser trailer. It looks a lot more like a full-on trailer. 2.5 minutes roughly. Yeah. So this came out this past week. Watched it. I personally love it, but then there's like a lot of back and forth. People who love it, people who hate it, people who said we don't need a Joker movie, people who said nobody's even thinking about this. Why do we need a Joker movie? But I definitely am wanting to see this. This is starring Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, or as Arthur Fleck as the character his name is in the movie. So this looks like it'll be more of a character centered piece. Doesn't have anything to do with the DC extended universe. It is a DC property, but it will not have any association with any of the other movies that are already out. Yeah, any of the other films that are out. Don't think it's gonna. It definitely doesn't look like it's gonna rely heavily on any CG. Of course, I mean, of course, you got your post-production work, color grade, and all that other stuff within the film. That's a given. But you know, this is very reminiscent, and a lot of people have said it of like Taxi Driver, and I think it looks very good from what I see. What are your thoughts on it?
Man, I'll tell you what, man. Okay, so I watched this. I watched this while I was at work. It freaked me out a bit. You know, it definitely did. I think Joaquin Phoenix, I think, you know, hearing months ago or whenever that was, you know, that he would be portraying the Joker. And honestly, I'm one of those people who's like, yeah, we don't need another Joker movie. Good night. I mean, we have so many of these Joker and Batman interactions over the course of time. And then even in Suicide Squad, you know, he was a bad in that. So I'm like, come on, just give us something new, please. Finally, somebody give us something new. Now, all that being said, this is a new take on it. This is maybe what Heath Ledger would have done had he done a standalone Joker movie that wasn't a part of the Dark Knight series, you know, or whatever, you know, Batman series. I know Heath Ledger was such a in-depth, you know, character actor. You know, that he would have been able to pull something like this off because it looks dark, it looks brooding, it looks, you know, like a sort of the untold story, the untold mystery of, you know, who the Joker is and you know, his origin, if you will. But yeah, I'm one of those people in that vein. It does make me sort of sad that you won't see this crossover into any of the rest of the movies. But then again, and maybe they will one day, but right now I guess they won't. But then again, like I said before, we've had so many Batman versus Joker, you know, interactions. I mean, dang, going all the way back. Was it the first, the one that Michael Keaton did also, wasn't it, the Joker? Jack Nicholson played the Joker. Jack
Nicholson did that, but then of course you had
but then you had
the
Danny
Joker
DeVito as the Penguin, right?
Yeah, the Joker that was in the actual TV series as well. I forgot the actor's name, but the thing I asked myself, and I posed this to like a lot of other people: how much do you actually know about the Joker?
Maybe not as much.
Besides, he's Batman's arch nemesis. Besides being like the most popular villain in probably comics. Whole comic universe, how much do you actually know about the Joker?
Yeah, you know, and that's probably a good question.
And I'm sure this film is going to explain like a lot of things. Like I think it was a Killing Joke that came out last year, maybe a year before. I can't remember, but that kind of went into like some backstory of that. And of course, like we always thought the Joker was like, oh hey, he fell into. All we know about him is he fell into a pool of like chemicals or acid, and then his face turned white, and he became crazy or something like that. That's pretty much like what the majority of society thinks about the Joker. But this like new take on it is like what society does or pushes someone enough to make them flip and to start doing bad things. Kind of like the Kirk Douglas, the movie way back in like I think it was the early 90s was Falling Down. I think it was Falling Down. Where he ended up having a bad day and he just ended up flipping and just started doing all this craziness.
Yeah.
But then I think this film also tackles like mental health issues as well, because you could kind of see like, and nobody really knows for sure what the premise is in this movie. Everybody's just speculating what's going on just by this teaser trailer, but looks like he's taking care of his mother for one thing. You could see, if you really look at the trailer, see like his little notebook or whatever, and I'm gonna see if I could try and find that in this trailer. He's writing things in his notebooks like jokes, so you can see he's like trying to be a stand-up comedian here, you know, and you can kind of gradually see like his handwriting and stuff getting a little eerie. And then there's this one little line at the bottom says the worst part of having a mental illness is people expect you to behave as if you don't have one. So there's some mental illness issues going on in here as well. So I'm sure it's a lot to be for this character to kind of take all this stuff in. And then you got to think of Gotham City itself. Nobody actually talks about Gotham City as an actual character, but because that's like one of the most important settings in any kind of. Everybody knows Gotham City. You know, so Gotham City itself is not, you know, all daisies and sunshines and rainbows and things like that. You know, you got gangs everywhere, you got crime families, you got corrupt politicians, corrupt policemen. So you got all this stuff, and then you got this one guy trying to take care of his mother, and I don't know if his mother has a mental illness as well. I guess you could kind of assume. You could kind of assume that. Yeah, and then he has something. He's trying to take care of her, so all this stuff is building up in him. And I didn't even notice this in that one scene where he's writing stuff. He has a medicine bottle there, so I'm assuming. Yeah, he's taking
prescribed medication.
Yeah, prescribed medication.
There you go.
Goes all the way back to
wow.
Yeah. I also read something somewhere else where Robert De Niro, he's playing I can't even think of his name. Why am I getting a brain fart? Bruce Wayne's father. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of his name. I should know this. I apologize, people. But he's supposed to be playing that character, and I think he has things to do with the pharmaceutical industry as well, as far as like medicine in Gotham City. Yeah. From what I've been reading like a little bit on it, he may have something to do with that. So all this stuff could kind of culminate into one thing, which kind of turns Arthur Fleck into the crazy person that we all know. But I'm definitely all for this film itself. Yeah. So,
Shout out to Brian Tyree Henry, who I see in this trailer as well,
and Zazie Beetz.
And Zazie Beetz, that's right. So they continually making the come up, man.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. I like that from Atlanta.
I like that.
Yeah, man. I think it's going to be a really good movie. To be honest, I like Joaquin Phoenix. I like his character work. I like, how it seems like he's. I don't know if he's a method actor. I can't remember. But when you method act, you basically live that life. A little bit in your own, and then so you can portray that, or maybe even fully in your own, so you can portray that on screen or on stage. And I know that that's what Heath Ledger did. I know that is also what what's his bucket who played Joker in the freaking Suicide Squad. What's his name? I can't remember.
Jared
now.
Leto.
Yeah, Jared Leto did. It's my same name. Why can't I always remember Jared
Well,
Leto?
you know what's crazy about that? The Jared Leto, they said he was more, I guess, method acting in that one than Heath Ledger was. Because I remember
it's wild,
I was reading Michael Jai White, who was in The Dark Knight, who nobody says he got killed by Joker. We only assume that. But he had more parts in that movie which got cut. But he said Heath Ledger was, once the camera was cut, Heath Ledger was just joking and like a regular person. He wasn't like fully in character the whole time, which I think a lot of people assumed he was, from like a couple of different reports. But Michael Jai White's account of being on set with him was completely different. So it's weird, man. I think we're gonna put Heath Ledger up there at the top because he did a great job at being the Joker. Everybody actually kind of hated the idea of him being Joker before that movie even came out. Because all they knew was like his little, teen roles, like 10 Things I Hate About You, or
he didn't
A
have
Knight's Tale. Yeah,
he didn't have any kind of background.
Exactly. So I think Joaquin Phoenix is going to do a great job. So those two are probably going to be like at the tippy top of the Jokers, if you will. And I kind of hope this kind of brings in a new era of DC films, because if this comes out the way the trailer is depicting it to come out, then you may possibly have some type of Oscar-worthy performance from this guy.
Oh wow,
yeah, possibly.
Yeah, it's true. That is, I think, this movie, and I mean, I know Shazam is already out for them, but this movie is going to have to break the stigma that we have, that society as a whole has against DC, and maybe the people who aren't necessarily like DC fanboys, fangirls have against DC about putting out some bad movies, with the exception of Wonder Woman, overall. So it's definitely going to have to break that mental hurdle that everybody's going to have to get over, and if it does, I'll be happy, because as a kid, I remember I have a picture of myself, as a child, growing up, and I am coloring on a Spider-Man, like this huge big book, Spider-Man book, but then I have like a Batman, some Batman underoos on or whatever.
Nice.
So, I mean, it goes back, I love Batman, I love Superman, I love that whole comics, DC Comics realm. And I want it to be great, but it's been hit or miss, the past few movies. Well, so yeah, man, hopefully this is more of a hit.
Yeah, but I mean, you could completely just separate this film from anything that DC did, because it has absolutely no association with that particular universe. You know?
I mean, while I know you can, I know you should. The world will not.
Yeah,
I can, you can, but the world will not.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
Just like, the thing is, if you didn't know this was like Joker, if you didn't know the name of it was Joker, and you saw this, you wouldn't even know until like the last maybe 20 seconds of the trailer that, hey, this guy kind of looks like the Joker from Batman. Other than that, you wouldn't know anything about it. Just from the trailer. And I'm hoping that's for the movie, because people are like saying, well, the Joker was this maniacal, crazy, insane person. And then it's like, well, how did he get that way? Nobody ever talks about it. So this will hopefully talk about it, and I hope we don't get that crazy, super insane Joker that everybody's wanting. I hope we don't get that until like towards the end of the film, because I'd much rather see like a character development than like, hey, I'm gonna be killing and blowing up everything in sight,
Yeah. Hopefully so. Hopefully we get more of the inside of who he was,
right?
And then he becomes that at the end, to to sort of finish off the movie and lead into a potential sequel. So hopefully so.
Possibly.
Anyway.
Yeah. What was your favorite Joker? Well, I'm not even going to ask that.
Who was my favorite Joker?
I already know who your favorite Joker is. But
who was my favorite Joker?
I know. Your favorite Joker was probably Heath Ledger, right? Or
I mean, not necessarily. I love Jack Nicholson. I will always love Jack Nicholson.
Because it's only those two that you could really...
Oh, I was going to say, though, I like whoever... Like you said earlier, I can't remember who played the Joker on the original, like, Adam West version Batman TV show. But I watched that so many times with my dad. And it was funny because my kids always have this memory of staying up late at night, well after bedtime with my dad, hanging out watching Nick at Night and watching old time Batman and Robin.
Cesar Romero, that's his name.
There you go. So he was great, and it looks like the choices that they made for character as well as hair color and costume color are based off of that same Cesar Romero Joker, which I think is awesome. So, I mean, I would say he is definitely, in my top three. But yeah, all three of them are my top three. Jared Leto, I didn't hate him, per se. I thought it was a great, different, alternative take on the Joker.
I think they just wrote his character wrong.
Yeah,
I just think
wrote him in a
he
weird
portrayed
way.
him pretty good, but I just think they wrote the character kind of jacked up.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope this is great. I definitely always have hope that it's going to be great. And go in trying to have like an open mind toward the situation. So yeah, man. But I'd say definitely Jack Nicholson, just because I always used to love and idolize his work. When I was more in the craft, and then then the others sort of follow along suit. But whatever.
Yeah, but there was Did you watch Gotham, or have you seen Gotham?
I've only seen a few episodes, but I know earlier when you were talking about Gotham as a character, Gotham City as a character, I know that's sort of, thankfully that TV show has been out, or had been out for a while now. And it's out there, so that sort of gives people probably insight to what you were talking about as, these surroundings of this one person out of the many, bads that come from that city, and the superheroes that are a part of that city. That city's history. It's great that it's out, because it gives you sort of a well-rounded origin story of things that are happening around him.
Yeah,
not directly.
There's a Joker in there, but the crazy thing is, the character of his name was Jerome Valeska. He played what people thought was going to be the Joker, and he had the whole crazy transformation. He was insane. I thought he was like one of the better ones, me personally. And he controlled like this crazy group of people that everybody kind of followed him around. He did like the Joker mannerisms. He had the laugh. He had this. He had everything going for him. But he turned out not to be the Joker. His brother, he had a brother, like a twin brother, that he would torment. Like when they were kids, he would try to kill the brother and do crazy things to him. So I think the family just moved the brother somewhere else, sent him like boarding school and stuff. So that brother like ended up doing like learning engineering and all kind of other crap. So he started working with like Wayne Enterprises. And it wasn't until Jerome, the crazy brother, I guess he was coming down to his last days alive. Like he was sending all kinds of crazy things out, all kinds of gifts and bombs, and he had Dr. What's his name?
Shivago.
Scarecrow. He had the Scarecrow kind of, I guess, manipulate some kind of little gas bomb. Scarecrow, he shoots this stuff in your face and you end up going crazy and whatever.
Skeet. Yep.
Yeah, skeets in somebody's face. So he ended up devising some kind of thing, sent it to his brother. The brother opens it up, and then this gas goes in his face and it like completely turns him, makes him crazy, makes him even crazier than his brother.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think we're leading into like the final season of Gotham. So we kind of get a glimpse of what the Joker is going to be. He may or may not have fallen into that vat of acid or chemicals. So we'll see this last season of Gotham, but I think it's a pretty cool take on it. You know, it gives the characters more, since it's like episodes, like hour-long episodes, so it gives the characters more time on screen to kind of develop get some type of character development. So, yeah, I think it's worth a watch. You know,
wow,
definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
But anywho, yeah.
So how many seasons are we into Gotham now? I don't know, because you're not the first person. I think there's been at least one or maybe even two people this past week who asked me if I'd watch Gotham because they thought I would love it. They are on
their fifth season right now. But then, of course, each season is like
20
a lot of
episodes or something.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
It's a weekly show, right?
Yeah, it's a weekly show. I usually just watch on Netflix whenever like the full seasons drop. So, but I think they're already into season 5. I don't know how many episodes in, but yeah, it's coming to an end pretty soon. So
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'll watch it. It's on my Netflix. It's in my queue. I started watching. I think I'm like on episode 3 or something of the whole series now.
Oh man,
but
got ways to go.
I'm way behind. But yeah, there's a lot I'm behind on with Netflix, sadly.
But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You may enjoy it. So
yeah. Anyway, well, yeah, man, y'all check out the trailer. Tell us what y'all think about that Joker thing. And yeah, man, I think, you know, at this point, it's about time to start tapping that love box. Before we get to that, though, yeah, man, if y'all haven't seen it, definitely go and log on to a couple of different YouTube channels. One is called Hey, It's Jay, because Jay does some great unboxings on there. Yeah, so find that. There's a lot of Hey, It's Jay's, actually. I thought it was weird. Yeah, there's quite a few. When I looked on YouTube one time, I was trying to just look up your channel or whatever, and I typed in "Hey It's Jay" in the search bar, and there were. Let's see here, "Hey It's Jay." Yeah, there's quite a few. I can't remember what the number says. You know how many there are, but there's like 15 or so, 20 maybe. I don't know. But the one that you should look for, you should just do "Hey It's Jay" unboxing.
It's right? just JJ. It's just, hey, it's JJ. Hey. It's just Jay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even know. Yeah.
It's just Jay. It's a bunch of J's. But yeah, do Hey It's Jay unboxing and guess
That's
what?
crazy. I'm looking at
all
it now.
the vids will come up. All the vids will come up. As well as some other ones with some weird chicks and dudes. But yeah, man, check that out. Hey It's Jay, the unboxing channel. He does some great little unboxing and reviews there. You know, and some short, some long, but all very entertaining. Even some with the kids. So yeah, and then also go to hashtag We Smoke Meat TV. Just look up hashtag We Smoke Meat TV, and you'll find the Hooks, Rubs, and Spices channel. And yeah, just here about a week ago, I released the ultimate smoked bacon and chorizo macaroni and cheese. It's a how-to.
Jared got his little Uzi Vert on.
Hey
with
man,
his neck roll.
Hey, you know, it's all about that neck roll, dog. It's all about that neck roll. I liked it. Anyway, yeah, man, check that out. It's, you know, I try to make it as cringeworthy and entertaining at the same time. There's some silly things. There's some bad jump cuts. You know, there's some you know, some fun stuff in there. So yeah, definitely comment, you know, like it, subscribe. There will be more out there. So,
okay. So people do hashtag We Smoke Meat, then space TV.
Yeah, just do hashtag We Smoke Meat. Let's see if you put TV. Let's see what happens.
If you put TV like all together, it doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
gotcha.
Hashtag We Smoke Meat space TV.
Yeah.
If you will. Yeah. Or you could put Hooks, Rubs which should work as well.
Yeah.
And it'll actually bring up, I think some of our older episodes, and then also videos with Random Rambles with Rob. So yeah.
Speaking of smoking meat, smoked the brisket yesterday, people. It came out pretty good with some hooks on top. I mixed some hooks with some Worcestershire sauce, and then I injected it inside my meat as well. Yeah, and that turned out pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty freaking good.
Which one did you use?
Which you talking about for the
which season did you use?
I used the rest, whatever I had left of my Mad Cow.
Okay.
And then what was that? And then the Smoky Burn.
Okay, then, man, look at you, got you some spicy meat. All right, yeah, man.
No bland meats, man.
No bland meat.
Speaking of bland meat, I can't. I gotta say this. So I may have said this on the show before, but we had my last job. We had like a brisket cook-off.
Oh no.
You know, I did my brisket. Came out good. It was all gone by the end of the day. My other homie, who is a man of color, black guy, he did brisket. All gone by the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, there was another guy, he did one. It's pretty much all gone. Then we had this lady, envelope colored. She did one. And I don't know how you make a brisket gray. How do you do that? And then she had the nerve to season it after it was cooked. She sprinkled some seasoning on top of it after. Now, see, I know doing like a finishing seasoning or like a finishing salt. You know, I can understand that, but yeah, that's different. It was gray, like your chef's vest in your video, your chef apron. That gray. Yeah,
some people.
I mean, she's from Germany, so I don't know how they do it out there, but how do you make meat gray?
I mean, there's a couple different ways. I think. Did you get a chance to taste it?
I tried it.
Was it tender or was it not tender? Was it tough?
No, I mean it wasn't tough. It wasn't like super melt in your mouth tender. Mm-hmm. It was just like, yeah, it was. That's about all I could say.
Yeah, she probably cooked it too fast. If it was all gray, she didn't smoke it. She just cooked it with no wood smoke, because the wood smoke, the smoke from that is what gives you the.
I think she did it in the oven. Ring. Yeah, I think she did it in the oven. I mean, the outside was gray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, no,
not the inside, the outside.
Nah, gee. See, this is probably what she did. I've seen a lot of people do this, and I don't know about German cooking per se, because other than like goulash and bratwurst and whatnot, but I know that I've seen this, and I think it's ridiculous. I think it's the one of the most ridiculous things I've heard people do to ribs and meat as a whole is to boil it and then cook it. Then then roast it or whatever, or bake it. I think it's ridiculous. Yeah. Don't do your rib. Don't boil your ribs ever. Don't ever boil your ribs. Ever.
My sister-in-law does that. She boils ribs and then throws it on the grill. I mean, it came out good. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I see a lot of people who talk about boiling ribs. To do it.
Now, I know that there are certain cultures in which that's sort of what they do to that's sort of a preparation method. But when it comes to smoking meat and also barbecuing them like on a open flame grill, in America, we'll say in America, I don't think that is that should be done. It's just one step. It's not going to make them any juicier. It's not going to make them any more tender. It may help you cook them faster, I guess. But then again, if you cook hot and fast, there's hot and fast methods out there. Then you can cook them hot and fast. They'll still be tender, still be juicy, and you would not have had to try to boil them. I think boiling them is a bad idea. But yeah, all that being said, yeah, man, I think it sounds like your coworker baked it in the oven, just like you said. She just cooked it fast. She baked it in the oven, no smoke at all. Dang, that's rough.
I'm starting to think she just boiled it. Now that you say it,
yeah. That's another thing that can happen when you boil it too. It'll take on that type of color. But yeah, that would be the wildest thing if somebody boiled a brisket and it wasn't like it wasn't gonna be part of like a soup. You know what I'm saying? So wow. I don't know, man. Damn. Yeah, don't boil your brisket. So hey, yeah, man, go check out both of those channels. And Jay, let's tap that music so we can tap that love box.
Yes, and I could go grocery shopping.
Do it. Yeah. I got some beef ribs I need to throw on the grill this morning. So try out this new toy that I got. So hey, oh, there it is, George Michael, Careless Whisper. It's probably already playing. Yes, but hey, if you want a lifelong face tat and never want to get it removed, tap your love box.
If you got crazy neighbors and you feel the need to just talk about them, tap your love box. It's Caleb.
If you think that rappers who rap off beat are almost all the same, but some way less talented than others, tap your love box. And you know who I'm talking about, Jay.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody so they could get
I'll tell y'all people so y'all can just go ahead and hop in the DMs and talk about it on the show. So Jay, it obviously doesn't like the rapper Blueface, which I don't think
I didn't say I don't like him. I just don't get why people love him so much.
Okay.
If he's making his money, make your money on him.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Sorry.
It's just not.
But then I looked at Blueface and I listened to his rapping style, which is offbeat, and some of it not rhyming. Most of it seems like it's not rhyming. And then I was like, hold on. He's not the first one to ever rap off beat.
No, he's not.
And he's also not the first one to also not rhyme or do couplets when they're rapping off beat. So then I look back, I was like, who else have I heard do that before? E40. Okay? E40. I'm not saying Blueface is better than E40. I'm not saying E40 is bad or trash, because I've loved his music. I used to listen to Sprinkle Me all the time on my way to school when I was young. But I will say this, he raps off beat too, so he's not much different. That's what I'm saying. There's not that far of a line of delineation between E40's rapping style while rapping off beat and Blueface's and other guys' rapping style also rapping off beat. Now, talent-wise, content-wise, there's obviously, some differences there. But yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not just saying, I'm just saying. Like, when you look at him rapping off beat, you might as well be listening. Boom!
I didn't say nothing, people. It's not Jay.
Let's talk about it.
Mention
like Kayla said. Let's talk about it.
In the DMs. All right. If you've been going through the past couple of days bumping that Billy Ray Cyrus Lil Nas X remix to Old Country Road, Old Town Road, Tap Your Love Box. That's like my jam now. I ain't
telling you, it's funny. Yesterday on the way to my son's football game, we heard that on the radio, and I was like, wait, this is a country version of this. Okay. And my son was like, I actually like this better than the original version. I was like, first of all, where'd you hear it? And second of all, yeah, I do too. So last night, before the kids went to bed, they were playing the YouTube instrumental version of Country Old Town Road, and they were singing it. My two little kids. I thought it was funny, man. But yeah.
Oh man.
I've been bumping it too. You can't tell me nothing. Wow. Now the fact that you're listening to it, Jay.
I ain't gonna lie. I had to post it up on Twitter when it dropped Friday. Mm-hmm. It's like, damn, it's bumping.
It
Rob agrees. I'm sure there's a lot of people people loving it now. It's like flame now.
It does, Mom, man. It goes hard. So, yeah, shout out to Lil Nas X. Even though they took him off the country music charts, he still went and got Billy Ray Cyrus, to hop on there, with his achy breaky heart to hop on there as well. And yeah, man, it looks really good.
Nas Miley Cyrus on the Super remix. I even heard somebody say they should do like a country music collab on this song, like they did way back in the day for like they had Paper Planes by MIA. There was like a whole bunch of people came for the remix and just jumped on that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think a bunch of country people should just jump on that song and just turn it out. The Old Town Road Super remix.
Right.
That would be dope.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope, actually. Yeah, got to see that. Man, tap your little box if you think it's great that an Indiana school is using unused lunches and turning them into take-home food for the kids in need. I think it's dope.
That's dope.
Not half-eaten lunches. Lunches that were not served, and they're repacking them as take-home food for families in need. I think that's pretty great. So.
If you ever had to shuck and jive at your job to show envelope colored people that you're really black, you got the blackness in you. Tap your love box. I didn't do that.
Wow.
If you could relate. If you can relate. But don't shuck and jive.
Tap it. Tap your love box if you've seen updates of B-Rob from Random Realms of Rob in New York the past couple days for WrestleMania, looking like he's living his best life. Staying up all hours of the night, doing all the things. Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Which I say, if you go to New York, win, and if you go to New York, do all the things. That's what it's all about.
Tap your love box if you think Kodak Black was out of line for mentioning Lauren London and Nipsey Hussle in his IG Live video the other day. A lot of people getting at him now.
Who did?
Kodak Black.
Was he detracted? Was he like?
He was
negative.
Well, he was saying. I need to find the exact quote he said, but it was along that line. But a lot of people got at him, like the game got at him, said you better keep that name out of his mouth. T.I. got at him, said some things, and Kodak Black responded back. It's like, what you gonna do about it? So yeah. I don't want this to turn into nothing ugly, man. We already had all kind of other negativity go on this past week. We see a lot of people come together over Nipsey's death. So we don't need that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So he said he's gonna give her like a year before he tries to holler at her.
That's crazy, man. Well, that's not gonna work out now. Number one. As you don't say that, man. It's not. There is always a thing that I call too soon. I know that Danielle Rawlings has a fun little, some fun little posts on his Instagram account. Ashley Larry, if you don't know. But yeah, he has some fun little things on his Instagram account about too soon with Danielle Rawlings. But really, like, there's some too soon moments, and that really is, man. This lady's husband just was murdered, in cold blood. It's obviously viral. There's a video of it. They have children, they have kids, or kids. So yeah, man, it's not, you don't speak like that about it.
Yeah. All right. So here's the whole quote from him. Quote: Lauren London, that's my baby though. She about to be out here single. She finna be a whole widow out here. I'll be the best man I could be for her. I'll give her a whole year. She might need a whole year to be crying and shit for Nipsey. I ain't trying to shoot my shot at her. I'm saying, listen, she can do 2-3 years. I'll try to be like the friend. If you need to holler or a shoulder to lean on, she can call my line. So that's it. End quote.
I still don't like it.
I
can see it. It seemed like as he was writing it, he was realizing that maybe he shouldn't be saying that. But I don't like it.
If he retracts like a few of these little sentences and lines, then I'd say it's cool. He'd be alright. If he says something like, I could be a friend if you need to holler or a shoulder to lean on, she could call my line. If that's all he needed to say, if that's all he said, I don't see any issue with it. But then all this other filler material, I think that's when that's what drew people. That's when he crossed the line with a lot of people.
Yeah, trying to saying that she gonna be a whole widow out here.
Yeah, that's
not
good. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Yep. It's sort of ridiculous. So sometimes you just need to not say something.
Right.
Sometimes you just don't need to say something. So, oh man,
some people can't keep their mouth shut though.
Yeah, this is true. Just can't. So hey, if you guys are hopeful that the new Joker movie will be good, which I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful always. Tap your little button.
I finally seen A Quiet Place last night.
Yeah,
that's it.
It was.
Tap your little button.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good. I mean, it was good. There was a lot of things like you just want. I know we wouldn't survive because my kids can't keep quiet.
No.
Like everything literally needs to be quiet.
Yeah, you had to be silent, right?
Yeah, I already talked. It's like my dog would be the first to get sacrificed.
Yep.
I'm sure you'd sacrifice your dog first too.
Yeah, I wouldn't even wait for that. I wouldn't even try to hide him or
you just let him out the door.
I just put him out there. Like, take him.
Then you get got.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I'd be quiet. I guess I wouldn't say anything. I just throw him out there and close the door real fast. Yeah, no, he'd definitely be the first to go. Let's see here. Tap your love box if you think it's cool that Meek Mill is helping with the legislation to improve the Pennsylvania probation system, and other celebrities, not just rappers, but other celebrities should follow suit in other states.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Here's the super nerd about to come out of me. If you're excited to see the first ever photo of a supermassive black hole, tap your love box. I want to see this.
How close is it to us?
It's probably super far away that nobody could get there.
I was going to say, how long will it be until it sucks us up?
They say it's 26,000 light years away.
Oh, that's cool. I'm tapping my love box. That's nowhere close. Just tap.
I think, yeah. Yeah, it's far. So
yeah, that's definitely far enough away.
54 million light years away.
Oh, even further. Great.
Yeah. So we won't see that in our lifetime, or even experience any type of gravitational pull towards it. So
not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But
so
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it may be cool. It would be interesting to see it. So let's see here. Tap your love box if you believe it is funny, or maybe not. I don't know that Aunt Becky and Felicity Huffman will get a plea deal, but also prison time because of their involvement in the college admission scandal. Up to 5 years, they say. Up to 5 years.
For some reason, I don't think they're gonna do no time at all, man. They probably just gonna get like probation or something.
They had to go and pick up trash on the side of the road.
I don't even think they're gonna do that.
You don't think so?
It's probably gonna be like house monitoring in their big $20 billion houses.
They will have to go. What they'll have to do, they'll have to go and do some seminars and inspirational or motivational talks to help people not buy their kids' way in school. That's what it is.
So I'm going to go talk to my A-list 1% friends about not paying for their kids' college. Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what they're going to do.
So I'm just going to have brunch. They're going to sip mimosas, talk about what it's like to not go to jail.
I could have gone to prison. My whole life could have been gone. But because of the decisions I made. But I was fortunate enough to have multiple $1 million, and also to have lawyers that put me in this position to tell you not to do this. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Whilst they sip on a glass of $5,000 wine.
While a lady who was beat down and assaulted for pulling out her cell phone and then broke somebody's window that was assaulting her is charged with a felony. What? I don't understand these things.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Tap your love box for my town of city of Opelousas, Louisiana. They're experiencing a bunch of church fires. 3 churches were set on fire within the past few weeks.
Wow.
No one knows what's going on, but we need some answers, people. To come together and figure it out.
That's wild, man. That's wild.
Sucks.
These larger churches that be more recognizable. Like if I went there, like I'd be like, man, I remember that place.
It wasn't my church. I'll tell you. I just know. Yeah, man. It's like we were saying last week. There's like a church on every corner, dude.
Yeah.
There's a church on every corner. The 2 biggest ones. There's like 3 really big ones. All 3 of them are Catholic churches. I mean, of course, Catholicism is like the bigger religion in southern Louisiana, but so it wasn't any of those churches, but I think a lot of smaller churches got those fires set.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy, man. Well, yeah, hopefully those people are fine, and hopefully they figure out the situation there. It's ridiculous, regardless of what kind of church it is. It's still very sad that it happened. Hey, you know what? Tap your love box for this kid. What's this boy's name? William Rabio, who, a 13-year-old boy, he sold his Xbox and did yard work just to buy his mom a car so they can get from point A to point B. Single mom, been struggling and didn't have a vehicle, so we already know that makes life hard. And this boy, all he wanted to do was make his mom's life easier. So what he did was he went out, sold his Xbox, did a bunch of lawn and yard work, and then surprised his mom with the gift and said, "Hey, here's a new car, Mom." That's pretty dope. That is amazing. I like that, man.
Yeah. Let's go tap your love box for that. And also tap your love box for another young guy. This kid comes in Michigan. He's going around filling potholes. 12-year-old. He goes around with a bucket of dirt and he fills potholes, something that the state or the city is not even bothering doing. But a 12-year-old. It's a 12-year-old kid.
Wow. That's good.
His name is Monte Scott.
Yeah.
He's going around filling potholes because apparently the city or the state just doesn't care much to do it. So and he said he did it because of he hates to see his grandmother drive over that type of stuff, messing up her car all the time. So shout out to him.
I like it. All these kids out here trying to find a way to make life better for people. Either family or friends or just the neighborhood. And then you have our ridiculous political system right now.
Yes.
So hopefully there will be changes in there as well for the better. So yeah, man. I think I'm done. I mean, I guess we could tap our love box and say, cool that Beyonce got an Adidas shoe deal, but it ain't Nike, so I don't care. So I don't know. That's all I got.
Shout out to Amber Rose for getting pregnant again by another rapper.
A word?
Word.
Another rapper?
Another rapper. She got impregnated by. I mean, this is her second kid, but that doesn't mean she hadn't been getting the eggplant all along. So, from many other different rappers or people.
See, this is when you. The question is confirmed now. Is she just out here after money and after rappers or after whatever? It's a yes.
Man, it's one of those things I've thought about.
There's no way you can't
forever.
say it's a no. Yeah, I don't know.
I've thought about this forever. Like, why do like beautiful, I guess, women in entertainment always go for other guys in entertainment? They don't want like the regular, like everyday dudes. Let's just say like a guy who works a 9 to 5, brings in money, takes care of all his business and whatnot. But they want to have another entertainment buddy that they say, oh, well, he understands my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That still doesn't explain to me why you want to. But,
yeah.
Or why you want to take this other guy. So.
I do understand to a certain degree of, he or she is not on my level of what I like to spend. Like, we're not the same lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I would like I could see where she would be like, Amber Rose particularly would be like, I can't go to no dude who is making, $45,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? That is like a salesman or is a is a graphic designer or works for like the city water department. Like I can't go to that dude because that dude won't be able to support my lifestyle and my traveling or we don't live the same lifestyle. I guess maybe not always support it. I can see that, but then again, I mean, dang, he just flipped from 21 Savage to another artist. You know what I'm saying? And then she was with Kanye before, and she was with who else? Wiz Khalifa, right?
Wiz Khalifa, Kanye,
etc., etc. And then it turns to that song, same hoes. You know what I'm saying? They all the same, male or female, they're all the same hoes.
Yeah.
So, except for J-Lo, she's not getting the same hoes. She's with A-Rod. So,
well, J-Lo has she's hold her way around.
Yeah, she's been out there though. She's been out there.
Mark Anthony, some dancer with her tour or whatever. A-Rod a couple different times, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so she's had her way around the industry as well.
Yeah, true.
It's whatever. I guess that's the lifestyle they chose. I'm sure you gotta live by that lifestyle standards of going around. Yeah. But shout out to those guys like Denzel Washington, who've been with their significant other for years, decades.
Yeah, shout out to them.
And every woman wanted to get a Denzel back. So
man, everyone
probably still now too. But his son is coming up and looks and sounds just like him, so I'm sure a lot of them getting into him too.
Yeah, true. Baby Denzel.
Yep. Well, anyway. I love Box Out.
Yeah, my box is loved as well. Alright. So, why don't you go ahead and tell these people how they can take their horse down to the Old Town Road and listen to us while they ride until they can't no more.
Alright. Well, people, take your horse by the hell, I don't even know what they call that. It's been so long since I rode a horse.
Stable? Oh. By the reins. Take it by the reins.
Take it by the reins. Hop on that horse, take it by the reins. Go to your nearest computer or your cell phone device and go to #BlackoutPod on Twitter and Instagram, people. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Anchor, and Spreaker, and YouTube. Hit us up at #blackoutpod@gmail.com. go ahead and send that telegram 385-3BLAKPC or 385-325-2572. And if you're playing some Red Dead Redemption while listening to Old Town Road, check out bossboxes.shop. Enter in Blackout 10 and get 10% off your BossBox subscription. Then when you're out camping, out on that campsite, and you need some good seasoning to spice up them baked beans, them that good old meat that you're cooking out on the range, hit up hooksrub.business.site. Get yourself some hooks, rubs, and spices. Get yourself some Mad Cow as you're rustling up them cows out there. Hit up Etsy. Search for hooks, rubs, and spices. Get all that good and yummy stuff. Smoke some meat out there. Play with your banjo, guitar, your harmonica. Look up at the stars. Just think of, damn, it's black out there. And when you see it's black out there, just think of the hashtag Blackout Podcast. You okay over there, partner?
Oh man. Oh, this is great. Yeah, keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, that's it, people.
I'm blacked out.
I am blacked out. Catch y'all later. Yeehaw.